Yavapai Broadcasting and the City of Cottonwood proudly present Inside Cottonwood, an inside look at the decisions and issues of the City of Cottonwood. Brought to you by Arizona Smile Designers.
Welcome to Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host today, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. And we're going to be discussing today what's going to be transpiring and happening on October 12th. Am I correct there? With Rhythm and Ribs. This is our 8th annual Rhythm and Ribs production here in Cottonwood, Arizona. And we're very happy, as you can see, we've got our shirts on, Rhythm and Ribs. And this was one of the I think it was a plan of City of Cottonwood to have a signature series event clear back in 2004, 5, and they were trying to figure out what we were going to do. And Hezekiah Allen is here with us today, and he's our Recreation Services Supervisor. He's also our Special Events Program Supervisor as well. And Hez had started with us about that time period, and one of the things that Hez came up with is you know, people out here really enjoy ribs, and people out here really enjoy listening to good music, and trying to put the two together and get a little bit of good music into Cottonwood. And so this was adopted as one of our signature series events almost 8 years ago. And Hez, there's a different arrangement this year for Rhythm and Ribs from what we normally have. Right. Can you explain a little bit more of that to our audience here?
Sure. You know, we'd kind of been through the process already with Thunder Valley Rally, and we saw the formula was working to partner with a production company. And so we went out for bid, actually request for proposals to see the companies that would come back. And Ron and I had been emailing back and forth a couple times, and they'd showed their interest. And when I met with Ron and Gigi together, it was another one of those cases where you guys have had tremendous experience. If it wasn't for the fact you lived here, we probably wouldn't have this opportunity. You know, Gigi has experience with the Super Bowl. Ron has experience with the Telluride Bluegrass Festival and all their programs, and has worked with amazing talent, you know. The kind of talent that if you don't provide a couch, they're not happy. We're not at that level yet, but we hope to be. And so the partnership is that they help us with the barbecue competition and help solidifying national entertainment. And they're also helping with a VIP section. We raised that up a little bit. And then the following year, they're going to help us garner sponsorship for the national entertainment that we have, so we can step that up as well and see where we go.
Well, let me roll that directly into Ron. Ron, I'd like to welcome you also Inside Cottonwood this morning, Ron Brumling. Thanks. And you're with That Event Company. And yeah, it seems like, you know, I was asking, you know, Hez, how did that come about? Well, people always say, well, that's That Event Company. And you know, I think it kind of just stuck, and it's a good name. Right. Tell us a little bit more about, as to our viewers, what is That Event Company and what do you do?
We do production.
Okay.
We have a lot of experience in special events. My partner has experience in the Super Bowl and the Olympics. At your smaller levels, we're not directing it.
Right.
But I have to kind of throw that out there. And then I've had a lot of experience with festivals, living in Telluride, raising my kids in Telluride, Colorado.
All right.
They have bluegrass festivals, blues festivals, wine festivals, mushroom festivals, triathlons, I mean, jeeping events. So I've had a lot of experience there, especially with talent and booking talent and dealing with talent. And that was kind of it. I heard from a friend that this was an opportunity, so we went after it, and so far so good. In a little bit of time.
Exactly.
We've got 3 national acts, and we're going to have 5 bands, 5 musicians,
total,
full bands there,
entertaining all day.
All right. Well, I know up on the screen is azrhythmandribs.com, so if you wanted more information, you can definitely pound into the computer there and pull that up.
Yeah.
But now, Ron, you know, I've been to Telluride, and I've been to one of the festivals before a long time ago, and I was there for like 3 days, and it was just incredible. And so I welcome you and that event company to Cottonwood, because you guys have a definite leg up, I think, as it pertains to experience. And when you look at Telluride, and you're coming here to Cottonwood, Arizona is really going to benefit from your knowledge and your professionalism. So thank you for being here. But now, how did you and Gigi, with Gigi Rock, you know, how did you guys, you know, hook up? How did you get together in that context of things as a company?
I've known her for about 3 years coming here. I've worked on some events in the Verde Valley, and have done a lot of wine, and I met her within the wine industry, and we think alike. You know, I can finish her sentences and vice versa. So
awesome.
We've had experiences in music, sports, and you know, you just go through life and you find people that you connect with, and that's how kind of partnerships work at every level, from you know, from family to business.
Right. Now, you were explaining that she, in her experiences, you know, you said that she's working the Olympics in the context of, you know, working that a bit and doing other things. So what else has she done?
Well, when you see the Olympics, you see somebody doing handsprings across the mat, and they beat everybody else out. They win a gold medal. Okay, well, that's the Olympics.
Right.
Well, behind that, there are these villages. They're set up. Same thing with like the Super Bowls.
Right.
We see the game, we see the commercials, we watch for the commercials, we watch for the game, but there's this whole corporate culture behind that. So you have the millions, if not billions, now put into these two giant events. You have to entertain that corporate money, and that's kind of what we want to do a little bit with the VIP,
right,
at Rhythm and Ribs, is take this to another level. Let's entertain not just you and I and our families going to eat ribs, watch music, but entertain your clients. You know, if you're a real estate company, throw a few tickets at them and say, come out and be our guest. You know, the people who've purchased homes, or a car dealership. Hey, you know, come in and take a test drive, but also thanks for buying a car with me. Come be our guest in this little nicer, you know, formal chairs, and you know, we're trying to do unlimited ribs and beer tastings inside of there and that kind of thing. So what Gigi and I have worked with is not just the event, not just the ticket sales and the acts and your experience inside the venue, but you know, the corporate side. We could turn this into a 2 or 3 a day event,
right,
as you were saying.
Right, exactly. And you know, we also had the opportunity, and I think in the future, you know, we probably could look at actually closing down 12th Street, moving out into the street area, cordoning off and containing the actual road itself, but it gives us added volume as it pertains to people that they want to mull around, which people really do, and especially if they're eating at the same time as they're watching music or drinking or whatever, they're actually mulling around, they're enjoying the crowd, they're enjoying the aspect of it, but you're giving them something else to do. So as we look at expanding, this is our 8th year, you know, hopefully by maybe 9 or 10, that might actually transpire, and we could move out into the roadway or do something of that type. You know, I think that Ron, you had indicated there's 5 acts. Who are they? Who's going to be playing this year?
We haven't nailed down time, but around 12:15, 12:30, we're going to have Eric Pasley.
All right.
Up-and-coming Nashville singer. He's been a writer. He has written and performed with Sheryl Crow and Amy Grant, and those are really, really big names.
Big names.
The Eli Young Band is new, and they're not named. They're not Eli Young, but it's 2 guys, one named Young and one named Eli, that's come together, written with them and has toured with them. Eli Young has got a top 10 satellite radio.
Wow.
And then we have Jake Owen. And if anybody knows Jake Owen, he's Blue Jean Night. What is it called?
Barefoot Blue Jean
Barefoot Blue Jean Night.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen that on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's an enormous song. He co-wrote that, and he's a great performer. I was really interested in when we were throwing names around because anybody knows Lady Antebellum, he co-wrote Friday Night.
Wow. Okay.
And that's a catchy song, and you can throw that in pop. It's being played on the pop stations and the country stations.
Right, it crosses over. It's great.
So be there at noon.
Right.
Grab your ribs and a beer and a soda for the kids because we have a full band. He's not going to be like Jake Owen went to Wrigley Field and stand there with one, just by himself.
Right.
With 15,000 people. He's going to have a full band for us with our event. So he's one of the names.
Well, let's we're going to take a break at this point in time, but I want to get back to that here in just a little bit because again, that's one of the things that's changing. Is we want this to be we want you to come all day because you're going to be enjoying all day because the music itself is just going to be incredible all day long. So plan on it. If you're going to get your tickets, make sure that you get there early and make this an all-day event for you and your family. I'm Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager, your host today for City of Cottonwood, for Inside Cottonwood, and we'll be right back with Ron Brumley, that event company, and Hezekiah Allen with the Recreation Services Department also. Thank you very much.
Talk to friends, talk to myself. I talk to God, I pray like hell, but I still miss you. I've tried sober, I've tried drinking. I've been strong and I've been weak, and I still miss you. I've done everything to move on.
Host today, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. We're talking about Rhythm and Ribs today, and our event on October 12th. This will be our 8th annual. We're very fortunate to have Ron Brumley here with that event company, who's basically putting on so many of the different programs and acts for us as a production company, and also with Gigi Rock. The two of them, it's just kind of one of those where it's a really good marriage for the two of them and having them here in Cottonwood to help us. One of the things we were talking about, Ron and Hez, was the actual performance on stage, and some of the bands that are going to be here. And we were talking about make it an all-day event because, man, these people are going to be incredible for the City of Cottonwood to hear and just to enjoy, relax, eat ribs throughout the day, whatever you want to do. There's going to be a lot there. So tell us a little bit more about the acts.
Well, we just talked about Eric Pasley, and Keith Anderson is going to be kind of middle day, around 5 o'clock. He's going to be our warm-up band, if you would, and I don't want Keith to take this the wrong thing because he's a big name.
He is a big name, yes.
So he's going to be warming up the crowd for Jimmy Van Zandt.
There we go.
Around 7:30.
Okay.
Keith Anderson, for all the girls out there, looks like Brad Paisley. Got that little, that cute little look where, it gives that little wink to the girls and they all melt. Okay? So, wonderful performer. He is going to jump around and have a great time. He engages the audience. He really gets in there and, gives them that eye and really plays to them.
Yeah.
He learned that from Garth Brooks and George Jones, and he also co-wrote Beer Run.
Okay, and if you've ever seen Garth Brooks, he's moving.
Yeah, he used to swing and have a great old time.
Yes, and it really engages the audience. So that's exactly what's going to happen
He's
with
been
Keith.
behind the scenes writing for these people, these kind of artists, for many, many years, and has enjoyed his own Picking Wildflowers is a big song for him, and I Still Miss You.
I Still Miss You.
Yeah.
Every time I hear your name, Triple X or Double X, Picking Wildflowers, Lost in This Moment. And then he's wrote for Big and Rich, Lost in This Moment. Grammy-nominated Beer Run with Garth Brooks and George Jones. Jason Michael Carroll with Barn Burner. He's another fantastic act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to Nashville, you go to Texas.
Right.
They're played all the time.
That's
A
incredible.
staple.
He actually has a degree in engineering.
Oh my goodness sakes.
Played baseball.
That's great.
Has a degree in engineering.
Yep.
He was an engineer for about a year and then left.
That's amazing.
And then did
He decided
landscaping while he was trying to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, real smart. A writer, like, you just kind of know. Writers
Right.
are just brilliant. It's just natural.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot like Eric Paslay.
Yes.
Eric Paslay he used to listen to Christian artists and stuff when he was a kid from his dad's records to kind of pick up the melodies and the gospel, and also how that works in the songwriting, and that's kind of translated into what he does.
But a lot of musicians actually have done that from gospel and moved in and taken an awful lot because of the actual music and I think the rhythm as well. I think that's really helped out an awful lot of, even when you go back 20, 30 years, I think a lot of those guys have actually, and gals, have started out that way.
Definitely.
It's just incredible. All right. So now, as we then lead into the big act, Jimmy Van Zandt. Tell us a little bit about Jimmy. Or what can you say?
Well,
about
I mean,
it's
you wanted to throw out Leonard Skinner.
Right,
it's
exactly.
Southern rock. It's
That's-
a good old. It's what we grew up with.
that's what I wanted to hear was Southern
in
rock.
high school.
That's right.
And you turned it up a little too loud in the car and you cruised.
Yeah, and I drove my
Yeah.
parents nuts with Leonard Skinner.
I don't understand how many Van Zants there are.
Right.
There's bunches
Well,
of them.
there-
They've
well-
repopulated Florida. The Van
Yeah,
Zants.
it's a kingdom, if you would. I mean,
Right.
there's a big community. But Donnie is with.
Well, there was Ronnie.
Ronnie was Leonard Skinner, and then I want to say Donnie was 38 Special.
Yep. And
Yes.
then he went to Leonard Skinner when Ronnie passed away.
Yep. So it's going to be fun, and barbecue ribs.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, put that in and
Jimmy Van
get
Zandt.
ready. Yeah, I
Wow.
think it's just gonna be a fun night. He should finish. It should be
he-
a long set.
He does a lot of the Leonard Skinner songs. He has the same format as Leonard Skinner does, where he's got the backup singers and all the different musicians, and it's a full production. I didn't know this, but as I was looking him up, Jimmy Van Zandt is a lot younger than Ronnie. And then when Leonard Skinner was getting their start, Ronnie and Leonard Skinner, whatever they were called back then, would go to Jimmy's mom's house, and they would practice in the living room. So Jimmy, from a young age, was seeing his cousin Ronnie, and then his mom encouraged him to play the piano and get into music. And it wasn't until Ronnie kind of passed away that Jimmy was like, well, I want to kind of remember, I want people to remember who Ronnie was and music, and he actually wrote Ronnie's song. And so that's pretty, I didn't understand the correlation there, and so
Yeah,
it made
it
it all
is.
make
It's
sense.
very, very close family.
Very-
And from what I understand, they get together at Christmas time and everything. And,
Yep. Could you imagine being at that Christmas?
my goodness sakes.
All the kids can sing, all the dads can
Yes.
sing.
Yeah, so it's really kind of neat. But I mean, and that's the thing is the Southern rock is just an incredible, I think, musical alignment of so many different things. Because I mean, I just remember always Leonard Skinner.
But he was touched by
Yes.
Southern rock in this country.
Yeah, and if you haven't been, I hate saying it, but where have you been in America? With Southern rock, man, because it started so much and pulled so much out of both the blues and rhythm and gospel and all of it, and pulling it together was just incredible. So, well, that's going to be an incredible group. As we looked at this and for the entire day. Now, what time does the program end then?
Around 10 o'clock.
About 10 o'clock then.
And Jimmy Van Zandt has the songs like Feels Like Freedom, On a Roll, Unfinished Life. He's kind of making a transition to country rock.
I see. So it'll be interesting to watch Jimmy Van Zandt as
And the whole lineup.
moves forward. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole lineup. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to take another break here, and we'd like to thank Ron Brumley with that event company for being here today, as well as Hezekiah Allen. I'm Richard Faust, your host for Inside Cottonwood. Come back in a couple of minutes. host today, Richard Faust with the City of Cottonwood. And with me today is Ron Brumley with That Event Company, as well as Hezekiah Allen, the Recreation Services Supervisor. We're discussing rhythm and ribs, and in this last portion or segment of our discussion today, we wanted to kind of hit on definitely the barbecue and the barbecue ribs. And you know, again, we've expanded, and we were talking about some of the changes that have transpired. Hez and Ron, it's going to be an incredible day on October 12th this year, and it's August is almost done. September's right around the corner, and then October will be here in the cooler nights, and it's going to be an incredible day. Tell us a little bit about the Kansas City Barbecue Society and how they're going to fit in with this.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this, Ron. I plan on starving myself for about a week up to the program.
You and me both.
And just having a full day, you know what I mean?
That's right.
Talk about getting to the meat of things.
That's right, right down to the bone.
Exactly. In years past, I think, people that go to Rhythm Ribs, it's a statewide rib competition. We bill ourselves as the first real barbecue competition in the state. The Cardinals kind of actually took their cue off us with their barbecue competition. But even though it's been statewide, it's still been kind of local rib restaurants competing. It was a bar none. Whatever you do to your ribs, we don't care as long as it's the best. And we still want to support our locals, but we need to take it to the next level. And how do we do that? We partner with Kansas City Barbecue Association, our sanctioned body, nationwide. I mean, the biggest rib competitions they're involved with. And now we're the only sanctioned KCBS program in the state at this point.
Wow,
yeah,
that's great.
We're trying to bill ourselves as a state championship, and that builds on points. So if you win or you come into the top 4 places in the KCBS, because we're going to have a local competition. Locals can beat each other up when it comes to good ribs.
People's choice.
And they always do.
They do, literally.
Yeah, hey, it's community,
That's exactly it.
You get to KCBS and you get points, which then moves you on to the national competitions. And if you've seen any of the shows here on reality TV,
exactly,
that's what they're going for. These guys are king of all ribs kind of thing, and it's not just ribs; it's brisket and it's chicken and so forth. But so KCBS will be 4 different types of meat. Where the locals are going to go after ribs, and also the barbecue king of the Verde Valley.
Wow. Yeah.
So KCBS is a big deal. If we can establish this as a state championship, then and we are starting to get the phone calls from everybody around. I mean, one of our judges is coming from Tennessee.
My goodness, yes.
And that's how big this is.
Yeah, it's going to be big.
And so we're getting phone calls and.
There's prize money. We have national teams signed up. We have 3 national teams signed up currently.
We have 3 national teams. We have several teams in Phoenix interested.
And see, these are the people that bring in semi-trucks that unfold, and half the semi-truck is a smoker. So if our community members see that, don't call the fire department.
That's right. There's going to be a lot of smoke out there. But all you got to do is open your nostril a little bit and go, "Whoa, my goodness sakes!"
Let it carry you to the program.
That's right.
The KCBS, you have to cook on site. This is not cooked at home, not home, but the businesses, the locals can cook it in their kitchen in Cottonwood.
And bring it.
In the valley somewhere, and then bring it up that afternoon. But they have to cook KCBS on site, and that's, like you said, it's going to smell good.
Oh man! So be there again. We're talking the same thing. It's like all day.
Right.
If you're gonna get in on it, and you want to start eating the meat. You just need to get out there and start enjoying, because you can have ribs throughout the entire day. You could have chicken throughout the entire day. You could, it's barbecue, and it's barbecue at its best.
Yep.
And you guys are looking for 15 teams.
We can't bring in any more than 15 teams, but
space-wise, and that's something we're going to be needed to look at in the future. Is growth. Now, do we still have the People's Choice competition then?
We do. Like Ron said, we have the locals that they're not set up to do the big, massive barbecue events, but they can cook in their kitchen at their restaurant, bring the ribs down, and it's that local pride. And, brothers tend to duke it out, and that's what happens.
That's it.
They have a lot of fun.
Competition at its finest.
Exactly.
So now, if they want to enter, who do they contact, or what do they do?
Ron?
Go to the website.
Okay.
You can find my phone number or G's phone number, but you can also sign up there. All the rules for Kansas City Barbecue and then the locals, kind of People's Choice, is at rhythmandribs.com.
They're bringing that back up on the screen again, so
Wonderful.
that's great.
Yeah, you'll see the form, and you can go through and fill all that out. You can pay and get an entry fee. We'll give you a call, and then Kansas City Barbecue Society will assign a judge to you.
That's
a big
great.
deal.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
we have national teams and local and regional and state, and so it's going to be really incredible. It's going to be unbelievable food and with unbelievable music.
Exactly.
All right. So now we also heard that Beer 30 and the Verde has combined with this event. Tell us about that, Hez.
With the good food and the amazing music, what better than a microbrew festival? And so we've got, Donnie was doing the program at the fairgrounds called Beer 30 and the Verde. There was some transition, and it was decided, well, why don't we combine both those programs? Beer 30 stands on its own, and it's a great program, and so does Rhythm and Ribs. You put them together,
Right.
What a marriage, just like Gigi
That's
and
right.
Ron.
Yeah,
And the
That's
company.
right. There you go.
Exactly.
That's right.
And so currently we've got the Brewing Company, Mother Road, Grand Canyon, the Great Beer Company, Lagunitas Brewing. Sorry if I messed that up.
Lagunitas.
Okay.
Lagunitas.
They just won a gold medal.
Oh,
in,
wow.
in San Francisco.
Really?
Yep.
Four Peaks and Odell. And we're hoping to have around 22 brewers there.
Wow.
So for about $10, you can do 12 tastings, and you get a 4-ounce sample cup.
And we're going to be at the Cottonwood Kids Park once again.
Cottonwood Kids Park.
And that'll be right next to the fairgrounds on 12th and Cherry.
Correct.
And so everybody knows where that's at. We'll have to make sure that everybody from throughout the region knows a little bit more about that. Now, what are the cost of tickets this year?
Well, until the end of August, we have an early bird, so
Right.
I'm going to throw that out there. If you want to save $5, go get it online and buy your tickets.
You better do it quick.
And
Better do
end
it
of
quick.
August, we
Yeah.
got- early bird's 15, you get into 20. Early bird VIP's 25.
15 for early bird,
Yep.
20 is day of, and then $50 is for VIP. And then the general admission tickets still include your 3 free samples. You get to see 5 acts, 3 national acts, microbrew festival, access to everything, and also a kids zone. So
That's incredible. There's nowhere in the state that you can get that price range for that, plus free ribs and for samples and stuff like. Because I know people have asked, are you going to have samples? And,
Exactly.
It's it. They're interested in that too.
it's like getting a Happy Meal at Bocce's.
It is. It definitely is.
Great value.
Great value.
With all the sides.
With all the sides. There you
All
go.
the different- yeah.
So,
And dessert competition this year too, right?
Yeah, I mean.
so what if you want more?
Well, that's a good
You
point.
just
Get more, you go over to the tasting samples booth and buy
Buy
more blocks of samples. If you want to eat all day, just,
Right.
yeah, you throw another 10, 20 bucks down there and
That's right.
help feed the family. And
We'll have wheelbarrows to carry to your car.
And I've got a big family, so I bought racks of ribs last year. So
There you
when
go.
you're
Yeah,
sitting
yeah.
there, man, that's what you're doing because it's
Could you
great.
imagine being a pig and being next to Rhythm Ribs? Like, oh gosh, I don't even want to know.
Man, it was great. So it's going to be even better this year. So now, can you explain what my $50 VIP ticket will get me this year, Ron?
it'll get you in.
Okay, get you in.
And
there you
then-
go. And then,
Yeah, we'll have unlimited food. So we're going to be throwing ribs, coleslaw, potato salad, beans, all
Wow.
that stuff out all day long.
Right.
Now I say unlimited, we're going to throw a lot of it out there, and you get to eat until it's gone. Then we'll bring out some more, and they'll bring and so forth. So and then you get seats, and you get front stage. The first 50 feet, I think, of the stage is reserved for VIP.
wow.
It's going to be a little cool. You might want to bring a sweater or a light jacket for the later in the evening. So we're going to have some space heaters out there for you, so you don't have to wrap up in a blanket out on
Right.
the lawn. And then we also have some other vendors that you'll get some freebies, some sponsors that, and we know who they are. We're just kind of making that fun. So
All right.
yeah,
That's
Not
good.
releasing that information yet, though. Top secret.
Top
Yeah.
secret stuff at this
yeah.
point.
But you'll be treated like a VIP.
It'll be
You'll
that'll be the
have
king
chairs.
stuff. Yeah, the king and queen.
You don't have to bring a lawn chair or a blanket or
Yep. And if
those
you're a math musician or mathematician, what I'm saying that wrong, but anyway,
No, I think you
if
got
you
it
do,
right on.
$50, by the time you get in and you pay your $20 and you buy your food and you buy your microbrew festival and all these things, you spent well over $50. You can take you and your wife for $100 for all day, all you can eat, everything, and she's going to feel like a VIP, and you just got out of your 1-year anniversary.
That's
so
right.
This
However
is
you want to.
date night.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you get to eat until you die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I've heard, I mean, it's the same thing as kids and 12 years and under. Now, they still get in free?
Yeah. Correct.
All right.
No, but that does not include samples.
Right, exactly. And then what does the Kid Zone consist of?
We've got inflatable rides and games, and it's one of the, when you get there early in the program, it's a family time. It's kids running around, playing in the kids zone, going over and having ribs. And, when it comes time to put the kids down to bed, you come back and enjoy the music and everything. But it's an all-inclusive family program, and I think that's what we pride ourselves on with Cottonwood Parks Recreation Department is family atmosphere and family programs that build community.
That's right. And it'll be multi-generational, family, the whole thing. So it's going to be an incredible day. Now, one other thing is, can you explain how Sergeant Maynard fundraisers are included this year? Because Sergeant Maynard, he was wounded in action in Afghanistan.
Correct.
And had both of his legs, they were blown off. And he is a true hero, and he's decided to live here in the Verde Valley Cottonwood area, which is incredible. And so, what do we have going on for fundraisers there?
We're getting guitars signed by the Axe.
Okay.
So during the course of the day, we'll offer those out to bidding.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you like a guitar signed by Jimmy Van Zandt and the band, we'll have those opportunities to bid.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then even if you go on the site, azrhythmribs.com, there's a screen where you can make donations online as well that will go directly to the foundation.
That's
As
awesome.
you say, we're so lucky to have a hero in our community, and one of those heroes that aren't necessarily honored like they should be. The story is unbelievable.
Yes.
He died on the helicopter. They opened his chest cavity up, went and hand pumped his heart until they got him where they needed to get him to.
Right.
And at July 4th, it was a moving experience when he did not want any help, but he wanted to stand up for the national anthem.
That's exactly right.
And that's a hero.
Yeah, yeah. He's an incredible individual too. So just talking with him, he's just like you and me.
Yep.
And he's just a great guy. Well, I appreciate the time of Ron Brumley to be with us today here. Thank you, Ron, very much for that event company, and along with Gigi Rock and what they're doing for us here for Rhythm and Ribs, and expanding and getting the national acts in and bringing that directly here to you in Cottonwood. It's just going to be an incredible day on October 12th for Rhythm and Ribs. Again, join us at 12 o'clock. All the way through 10 o'clock that night. Start it out early, get your ribs, have fun with your family, and sit back and relax, because life goes by really quickly. And this is one of those things where community and family join together, and it's just one of those relaxing days. So join us on October 12th for this wonderful time frame. Hez, thank you very much for also being with us and helping me host today. I'm Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. Thank you for joining us today for Inside Cottonwood.